Jane Curry. Redevelopment project number one has been successful in providing many things that we in the city have enjoyed. Unfortunately, with the convention center, we have a stumbling point, and hopefully I am for completion of the convention center, and that will provide some working jobs. As Alice said, though, that's that part of town. What about this part of town? And redevelopment project 2 is a great start. We need to adopt our general plan. And adopting our general plan, then we can finally adopt the Tahoe Valley Community Plan. And in adopting the Tahoe Valley Community Plan, we'll have structure in place to move forward on redevelopment in project area number 2.
Thank you. Ms. Davis?
The redevelopment project down at State Line, some of you lived here back in the 80s, it was an economic disaster. There were $19 motel rooms that couldn't even do a 20% occupancy in the middle of the summer. I wish you could see the before and after pictures, and it's easy to come in late to this community and criticize it if you haven't been here. By the way, those projects contribute over $2 million at the end of the day to the city's general fund back into the city. Also built a fire station up on Ski Run, redevelopment didn't come out of the general fund. Been a challenge, it's a very complex process. Yes, we wanted to start focusing on the why, particularly Miller's Outpost and some of those commercial areas down there. That's why the community plans and redevelopment needs to be focused down on the South Shore. City's already starting to do that. Thank you.
Did you say 45 seconds?
45, up to 45 seconds. You need
This is difficult. However, we all know there's blight in the city. All you have to do is drive down Highway 50 and you see it. Tom made very good points about the people who weren't here before and have the opportunity to look at the before and after pictures. Plan area number 2 is, I was very passionate about that one because that one was, to me, was the community's plan. It was the opportunity to follow what the community now wants to see down there. Redevelopment plan area number 1 was community's input in the late 80s. Well, it's different. Plan area 2 is the community's plan area. Thank you. Mr. C.
Chahovich, Doug Chahovich. I just trying to figure out where the city council and has been setting back, because the president that we have right now, he has money set aside for shovel-ready projects. So I don't know why the council of the city didn't jump in on some of that to get things going. And the school district, they jumped in after they got the bond passed, and they actually got quite a few million more that they applied for some grants. And so that 60, whatever it is, $8 million that are bond, that went up to almost $100 million, I think they have for the school district. So I imagine the money's got to be out there from the federal government and the state that we could probably get some projects done and clean the town up. Thank you.
Ms. Allen?
To help with blight, I think that we need to focus on not so much redevelopment, but growth development. Growing our city back to what we feel is a comfortable capacity, a comfortable population. We've lost a lot of people over the last few years, and without creating incentives for people to move back and focusing on what we have here, which, you know, is a history, a beautiful history. I recently attended the 50th anniversary of the Barton Auxiliary, and these 4 families of Tahoe essentially that came here and had nothing and needed a hospital and a church. They built a community. They didn't build a timeshare destination where families couldn't live. We need to focus on families.
Thank you.
The big hole that we're all so fond of referring to as a major failure isn't a failure. The truth of the matter is that we are making $350,000 a year, on that particular property, above and beyond what was there before. The economy went south, the developer couldn't afford it anymore, which brings in an opportune chance for someone else to get a project for pennies on the dollar. That being said, we have other opportunities in this town. One of them is to look at what's called the Platinum Triangle, which was done in Anaheim, which looks at redevelopment as a unified process that doesn't include eminent domain.
Ms. Jones?
I believe the question was what we'd like to do with the redevelopment blight that we have right now, and I think that blight is that hole in the ground. I'm assuming that is what you're referring to, and you know, in the immediate short term, we can look at something more aesthetic than the fence that's right there, because it does really detract from our beautiful community. And in the long term, we just need to look before we leave. We need to make sure that developers have performance bonds. We need to do our homework. We can't jump into things because they feel good. We need to do our homework and make sure that the numbers back up the project. And I hear a lot of this about we're making money on redevelopment, but you know, I've looked at the budget, I've looked at the accounting, I see a lot of interfund transfers, and I want to get to the bottom of what the real accounting is on the redevelopment.
Thank you. Ms. Swanson?
There's big B blight and there's little b blight. Big B blight is what was tackled in the convention center project. And I'm going to leave that be because I'd like to talk about hope and opportunity, because that's what we need to focus on. The little b blight that's being addressed in Plan Area 2. And let's look at two bright spots that are ripe for opportunity to move forward in a same way. First is Harrison Avenue. Thanks to the Lakeview Commons project, which is delayed, but will resume again in the spring, we have Caltrans coming in and we're redefining El Dorado Beach. The owners in recent meetings have sat down and said they are ready to invest in changing their buildings. Second, through the new RDA that will be approved, Eloise is ripe for change and development, to be taken out, for massive stormwater work to be done, and to start cleaning up this town one block at a time.
Thank you. So do we have audience questions? If we don't, if you thought 45 minutes or 45 seconds was short, you are now going to have rapid fire questions, 1 or 2 word answers only.
So we better sit down when we do this.
So don't stand up.
Waste 2 seconds getting up.
That's right. You so quick, because I can go to rapid fire. Okay. All right, and I'm going to start with Ms. Curry, go back the other way, which is going to be confusing.
And how long do we have to answer these?
1 or 2 word answers.
Okay.
Not 1 or 2 seconds, 1 or 2 words.
You have
So
to
if
a
you wanna
politician
use
answer
long
questions,
words-
1 or 2 questions.
You're going to have to keep an eye on Tom.
Are you going to shoot us if we use more than 2 words?
I'm not going to sue anybody.
Shoot us, I said.
Shoot it.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
going to
Ben.
paddle.
No, Ben, I'm not going to sue you because I don't need any more work. Actually, that's Judge Bailey because he does the civil stuff. Would you relax the sign ordinance stipulations?
It needs to be redone.
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Gooch, Mr. Cease, Ms. Helen,
Complicated issue.
Ms. Fortier,
Not sure.
Ms. Jones,
Absolutely.
Ms. Swanson.
Needs to be changed.
Immediately.
Okay, you did good. And for your reward, you'll get another question. I'll start this time with Mr. Davis. Would you raise, lower, or keep the same level of business license fees?
Same level and against the prop that's on the ballot.
Same level for the ballot measure.
Make it more affordable.
Ms. Helen,
Same with free enterprise.
Ms. Fortier,
Same for small business, rethinking businesses that make more money.
that wasn't very short, but we'll give you a pass because you came in under budget on some of the 45 seconds. Ms. Jones?
Oh, can I have more time?
No.
Reallocate.
Ms. Swanson?
Essentially the same.
Slash and burn.
I support Measure E.
Okay. Now, I'll start with Ms. Jones. Would you favor the creation of a small business advisory board, no ski resorts or casinos?
Absolutely.
Ms. Swanson?
Yes.
Mr. Covey?
No.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
You bet.
Ms. Gooch?
Yes.
Mr. C?
Yes.
Ms. Howell?
Yes.
Ms. Fortier?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
I already said.
You started with her.
See, I've been down to Sacramento and back, so. All right. Now, since I'm starting to get rummy, we'll start with Ms. Howland. Would you vote for a bigger partnership between the city and the South Tahoe Chamber of Commerce?
Marie? Certainly a stronger partnership, not necessarily financial.
Evaluate.
Ms. Swanson?
Partnership's important, needs to be defined.
Worth exploring.
Need to have a representative on your board.
Mr. Davis?
Both chambers' cooperation with.
Ms. Gooch?
Stronger participation.
Mr. C?
Stronger, more communication.
And last of the rapid fires, we'll start with Ms. Gooch. Would you vote to raise or lessen parking fees in the city?
I would keep status quo.
Mr. C?
Lower, get somebody.
Ms. Allen?
I think we should consider having a lot more paid parking lots within the city limits.
The same, but with recognition of the businesses offering free time to people who are here.
Ms. Jones?
Reevaluate time chunk intervals.
Ms. Swanson?
Not higher, reevaluate the structure.
Lower.
Ms. Cook?
Citizens pass for parking within the city.
Mr. Davis?
Eliminate.
Tell my own story about that. My husband and I had our power go out one simple, a long time ago.
You got 45 seconds.
I create rules. So we go down to Heavenly Village to see what movies are playing, because we don't have a paper, and of course we don't have internet access. Went, checked, got a coffee, came back, and were shocked by how much it cost.
But you can get it validated at the theater for free for 4
But
hours.
she didn't go see
You
it.
didn't go to the movie.
They had yucky movies, what can I tell you?
So you get it validated.
I think validation means you purchased something, and we didn't, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't go into the theater.
I didn't go.
All right.
Just looked at the marquee. All right. So these are 30-second answer questions from the audience. I'll start with Mr. C. Work that way. What is your choice of the alternatives proposed for the Lake Tahoe Golf Course and Washoe Meadows State Park, which I would note is in the county, but.
Yeah, I say it's in the county.
You know, I'd have to get out and walk it more and check it. Probably at this point, leave it alone, like cost more erosion.
It's good.
Yeah, I read all the alternatives and can't remember the alternative 2 or 3.
I read the alternatives also. I agree with realigning the 9 holes and restoring the meadow back to its original condition.
I basically agree with Tom to restore the meadow back to its original condition and continue having the golf course.
I agree, I think we have to restore it.
We're all in alignment, yeah, restoration.
I would like to restore it as well as look at the amount of fertilizer that they're putting on that and put in more stringent regulations regarding fertilizer used at all golf courses in the basin.
So realign the 9 holes and restore the meadow and create the walkways by the river.
I agree with what's been said.
We have a consensus. It's a county issue, but hey, that was good. Okay, next question. Back with Ms. Helen. Go the other way. Do you still feel police and fire should be such a high percentage of the budget when especially fire personnel salaries as commensurate with cities of such higher call volume? I think that the thrust of the question is whether you believe that the police and fire portion of the budget should be as much as it is, particularly since the question asker seems to suggest that our fire salaries are out of line with other jurisdictions that maybe have a higher cost.